In this video, we're going to list our top 10 action films you haven't already seen. Number 10. Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. Tim Urbanitov is the director of this action horror movie. The narrative centers on Abraham Lincoln, whose mother died at the hands of a vampire when he was still a little boy, and he promises to serve justice from that point on. Abraham is happily saved by Henry, a talented vampire slayer who teaches him how to find and kill vampires. After ultimately picking up new skills and adapting, Abraham continues his fight against vampires throughout his life. And when he becomes president, he finally engages in a last conflict with the supreme vampire foe. The two best aspects of this film are its stunning action set pieces, the breathtaking way it was shot. Overall, it is a distinctive action movie experience that you won't regret viewing, so give it a shot. Number 9. Peppermint. It is an action thriller movie under Pierre Morel's direction. The narrative centers on Riley North, who awakens from a coma after a devastating incident that took the lives of her husband and children. Riley, who is already depressed, becomes much angrier when she learns that the attackers are no longer being pursued by the law. This realization forces Riley to become a deadly fighter and take matters into her own hands in order to exact revenge on those who destroyed her life. She turns her wrath into determination and spends years refining her intellect and body to become an untouchable force, but the road to vengeance becomes more challenging as she avoids the criminal underworld and the police while enforcing her own specific kind of justice. Number 8. Gangstar Squad. It is an action crime thriller film directed by Ruben Fleischer. The story takes place in 1949 and centers on the ruthless mobster Mickey Cohen, who tightly controls Los Angeles and amasses fortune through a range of criminal operations. Cohen has a legion of experienced gunmen at his command, as well as politicians and police officials, making him more powerful and extremely dangerous enough to fear even the most fiercest policemen. In the meantime, Cohen aims to expand his criminal enterprise. That is, until two LAPD officers named John O'Mara and Jerry Wooters decided to organize a private team in order to bring Cohen to justice, bring the city back to order, and expose him. The story starts out weak, but evolves and becomes surprisingly entertaining thanks to the outstanding cast and their performances. Number 7. Rambo: Last Blood. I imagine that every fan of action films has probably seen some of the franchise's films, but if not, don't worry, you can still enjoy this one. It is the 5th installment in the Rambo series and a sequel to the 2008 movie. The plot of the story centers on former soldier John Rambo, who is seeking to find peace by managing horses on an Arizona farm. Along the way, he finds new acquaintances and creates a unique family. The plot picks up when a brutal criminal group kidnaps his wife, sending Rambo on a bloody journey to rescue her and destroy those responsible. Number 6. Deliver Us from Evil. Action movie from 2022, directed by Hong Wan-chan. In the film, a man who recently killed a mafia boss is encouraged to flee by the authorities since the gangster's distant younger brother is seeking those guilty of the death. However, just as he was about to go unnoticed for a while, he receives a text from his ex-girlfriend asking for rescue. Before he could act, he finds out that his ex has passed away suddenly and that her 9-year-old child has been abducted. He needs to come out of hiding to save the girl, but Brother Ray, a mobster, is after him after learning about his visit. Brother Ray goes on a murdering rampage to get even and sabotage the rescue effort. The movie's plot is excellent and filled with gritty, realistic action. Number 5. Old Henry. It is a Potsy Ponzaroli directed Western action movie. The story centers around a farmer who helps a victim carrying cash in a bag. The injured person claimed to be a police officer who had been attacked by criminals, but when a gang shows up looking for the bag, Henry is forced to choose who to believe while defending his home from an attack. He had no choice but to employ his shooting ability, which astounds everyone and calls into question his past. There are numerous surprises and intense action, and it is undoubtedly one of the most undervalued and essential movies for fans of slow-burn action flicks, just like old-school action movies. Number 4. The Raid 2. The movie is an action thriller that Gareth Evans directed. If you've seen The Raid 1, you certainly have grown to appreciate these two movies. Simply said, the two movies have some of the best hand-to-hand combat scenes you'll ever witness in an action movie. The action of the story begins after the bloody conflict between Rama and the terrifying criminals from the first movie, where Rama prevails and thinks he may resume his regular life. But when his family is in danger, he has no choice but to infiltrate the Jakarta underworld in order to overthrow the group and make his law enforcement agency's corruption public. Yuko, the son of a well-known gang boss, must be convinced to join the cartel in order for him to complete his mission and end the entire corrupt system. This movie is crazier than the typical action movie since the tale is dark and packed with martial arts combat scenes. At moments, the fighting appears really realistic. Number 3. The Old Guard. The movie is an action fantasy adaptation of a comic book. The story centers on an ancient immortal clan that can rejuvenate in order to escape investigation. They prefer to work as soldiers and conceal themselves in plain sight. However, when one of their clients offers them a new assignment, something terrible happens, revealing their power and attracting the attention of a few dishonest people who want to duplicate their skills for their own evil purposes. After their identity has been revealed, the group must find and get rid of the threat to keep themselves alive. This film is a breath of fresh air in a sea of generic action movies. There are surprising turns, and the crazy action with fantastic background music is truly excellent. However, there are unsolved mysteries concerning their powers. The good news is that the second installment will soon be available on Netflix, so maybe we may discover some answers there. Do not pass up this opportunity to see something fresh in the action genre. Number 2. The Great Battle. The movie is an epic historical action movie that was made by Kim Kwang-seok. The plot is set in 645 AD when King Lee Shimon invades the Goguryeo Empire with his massive tank warriors, and the Goguryeo army under Ian Gessaman is routinely destroyed. Due to Yang Man-chun's refusal to join them in battle against the Tang army, Ian Gessaman decides to fly to Pyongyang Fort, to Goguryeo Kingdom's capital, and issue the order to assassinate him. On the other hand, the fort at Ansi, which is one of Tang forces' way to Pyongyang, is Lee Shimon's next target. The film tells the tale of Yang Man-chun's and his Goguryeo forces' valiant 88-day defense of Ansi Castle against 5,000 Tang Dynasty invaders. The movie has big mind-blowing fight scenes that will astound you with their immense scale. Despite feeling a little stretched out due to its length, this excellent and incredibly entertaining epic war drama features outstanding fight scenes and cinematography. Number 1. Alita Battle Angel. It is an action cyberpunk movie based on Yukito Kishiro's manga series Gun. The movie is set in the very far future and tells the tale of Alita, a stranded android who is found in a junkyard by the Jenner scientist Ito. He then takes her to his lab where he is able to repair and restore her. Unfortunately, she appears to be completely clueless about who she is or how to get home, and it is this mystery that keeps you on the edge of your seat the entire time. While Alita adjusts to her new life, Ito tries to protect her from her hidden origins. However, when the lethal and treacherous authorities of the capital target Alita, Ito is compelled to divulge her true identity and mission. Fantastic elements include the breathtaking CGI, the narrative, and the out-of-this-world environment. From the very beginning, the tale will hold your attention, and its spectacular action sequences are the cherry on top. There's a chance we'll learn more regarding Part 2 development shortly. Any shows you think we missed, write them in the comments. See you in the next video.